Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Decentralized Chain. It's Feroz bringing you the latest news, reviews and blockchain tech. So if this is your first time here and you want to learn more about upcoming ICOs and crypto related stuff in general, then start now by subscribing and clicking the bell icon below. Now, I know it's been a couple of weeks since I've actually aired anything on YouTube, and that's mainly because I have been on a holiday getting some relaxation in. But today we are going to be having an interview with Jeff Cao, who is the CEO and founder of PChain. And Jeff's going to basically take us through the project and, more importantly, give us an update in terms of partnerships, where they are and what we can expect in terms of their roadmap. So here it is. Right, so today I am joined by Jeff Cao, the CEO and founder of PChain. So Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Now, for the viewers who may not be familiar with PChain and yourself, would you mind telling us a little bit about you? I mean, what is PChain? What is the problem you guys are looking to solve? And what is the solution that you're bringing to the market?
Thank you. PChain is the first native multi-chain which support EVM in the world. And the idea is quite simple because we noticed that even though Ethereum is very successful, but the scalability is always a big issue, and we meet more and more problems, which is an obstacle for the blockchain to be adopted in large-scale application or in real application. So that's one of the key motivation of PChain, that is to make large-scale blockchain application possible. And given this problem, we adopt a new methodology that is totally different from previous Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is just a single chain. You can just find one chain, but in computer science point of view, it's very natural to have a multi-chain to do this kind of, to make it more parallel. That's why we call it PChain. P means here, and also it's also because we are multi-chain, so it's polychain. So it also means P here also means polychain, and also we want to do a lot of things to make a better smart contract platform. So we believe the cross-chain capability is also very important. So that's why we can allow the non-native token to be used to call the smart contract provided by PChain directly, and also we will consider the non-load data problem in smart contract. Because you know, in Bitcoin, every data is generated inside of the system, so it don't have the external data problem. However, when we extend to Ethereum is introduced the smart contract. But you know, the smart contract itself will rely on a lot of external data. So in Ethereum itself, it's introduced a very simple mechanism called Oracle. But you know, the Oracle problem is they always want to get the external data by a pooling way. That is, they don't know when they really need that kind of data. So it's a huge problem. That's why we introduced a very new idea called the smart data. Smart data itself can be like a standard, and it's a new Oracle mechanism which can be defined inside of smart contract and resolve the problem is open loop data problem in the smart contract. So that's the key problem we want to resolve, specifically to how to become a better smart contract platform. The way we resolve this is we design a new smart contract mechanism and a protocol, as we said, and we also apply the relevant pattern on that. And also, as we said, we designed the multi-chain structure and make the main chain and the child chain can be interoperability, and looks like just externally like the one chain. So through this way, we achieve very good scalability. And also, besides this kind of main innovation, we also designed the new consensus algorithm, which we call the PDBFT. The meaning of this is very important because this is, from my point of view, this is the first large-scale pose algorithm which allowed you to do the virtual mining instead of just use the very expensive hardware to do the real mining. So But on another hand, it's a very important balance of the efficiency and the decentralization. So that's the very important achievement we already achieved in the last 3 months. And also, given that, we also designed the incentive mechanism we call the PANDA, that is PChain Dynamic Supernode. You know, everybody know that US very supernode plan, but you know the supernode is just 21 and it's always the whale game, right? Because you have a very important, a lot of money, you can become a supernode in US. However, I think this is somewhat different from the spirit of blockchain because it's decentralized. Everybody have the capability, should have the right to do this kind of supernode. So we call it dynamic supernode. We call it PANDA because it will involve a lot of supernode. We at the first stage we will introduce over 1,000 supernode, and everybody have the chance. And you don't need to have too much money, but you get relevant money, then you can get into become a supernode. And to be more fair, we introduced the dynamic mechanism. Is also another pattern of PChain. So I just basic idea.
Okay, fantastic. So I quite like the idea of the way that you're going about doing a supernode. You're right. Historically, in order to have a supernode, you need to have a fair amount of I'm going to say wealth or crypto wealth in order to be able to operate and own one. So being able to break it down and allow the smaller individuals to be able to be part of that and also to profit from it as well is always good and fair, certainly in my eyes. Now, I mean, I'm aware that PChain as an ICO launched many months ago, and so if we kind of look at your team since then, has there been any major changes within your team? Have you expanded your team, and if so, why have you expanded?
Yes, in fact, we make this kind of announcement every week, and from my point of view, we introduced 2 important members. One is our chief security scientist, who got the ACM championship in their graduation, and he also a professor in university and get the top high conference paper in security as well. In fact, he contribute a lot of idea in PDBFT, and we generate at least 3 patents in PDBFT. We do very fundamental innovation and make as I said, we make the balance of efficiency and the decentralization, which is really a hard problem. Only PhD can do this kind of innovation.
No, it's good. I got you.
Another important members is we introduced another financial expert who is also my good friend. We have been good friends for 10 years, and this guy is also a PhD, and he worked in the central bank in China over 10 years, and he do a lot of great project. Over even half of the information system is led by him. So he got a very rich experience in finance area and also information system, who is another important members we incorporate since our last crown sale. And also we establish a more strong marketing team because sometimes we originally just a technical people and team, and after 1 or 2 months, more and more our fans, our community encourage you need to have a better marketing.
You do. Marketing, I think, is very important for any ICO in order to get the message out and keep everyone updated.
Exactly. We set up the marketing team gradually, but I think we still need to have more members on that to better combine the technology and make everybody know our innovation and make it more successful. That's the key update in members.
Well, it's good to see you're focusing on how to strengthen PChain as a brand as well. So I like that. Now, I know from, and I've been following quite a few of your tweets, and I think it's important for those watching the show to be also made aware of it and aware of the news. You know, we're talking about marketing here once again, really. But you guys have announced a number of strategic partnerships since ICO. And I just wanted to run through a few of them with you just to understand a little bit more about, because, and excuse me, because we see a lot of partnerships being announced in lots of different ICOs, and sometimes it's hard to tell what those partnerships really mean or whether it's just for show, right? And so I was just going to run through a few, and I was hoping that you might be able to just shed a bit more light on what it means. So first of all, you know, we've got tweets around PChain and Involt, so they're strategic partnerships. What are they doing for you in this space, and why have that?
Yeah, Involt is very interesting partnership. In fact, at the very beginning, just asked me to be their advisor, but I just considering it. But anyway, I think it's a very important partner because, you know, this project do a very specific area. That is, you know, we use crypto. We use the crypto token, especially for the payment. But previously, just designed for the individual, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not that easy to be used in enterprise because, you know, in enterprise the payment is really complex. Yeah. It needs to calculate how much number and get the internal process and get the department manager approved, get the CFO approved, and even need to get a CEO approved. Yeah. But you can see that currently crypto token don't support that. Yeah. So we need a system to do this kind of job, especially when the CEO is in airplane and the CFO is in the office, and the sales in the meeting, in the conference, and a very distributed environment to do this kind of collaboration. So I think Involt do a very good job, especially to do this kind of system will allow the enterprise to better manage, better process the token transfer or the payment for each enterprise use. For example, they already, as far as I know, they already signed around 30 funds to do this kind, to use their.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because the fund, you know, the crypto fund is hard to be managed. It's not a traditional way to manage it. So I think it's very meaningful partnership for PChain to contract with them, because they obviously, from my point of view, very important the app, and everybody if I talk to every fund or every enterprise, they at least they want to try it, right, to better incorporation and to make the crypto process more systematic or more secure. Okay. So yeah, so that's why we contract them, and they can over PChain as well, because we are a very efficient platform both for smart contract as well as for token. Okay. So yeah, that's the Involt.
And so how about we've got PChain and Qbao, if I'm pronouncing it right? Yeah.
Qbao is another very interesting story, because, you know, we know each other very well. I just looked their founder to set up the Qbao, and it's quite successful because of Qtum. Qtum attract a lot of apps, and the Qbao is the first wallet of content in last year, and they already got around 5 million end users. So it's quite impressive. For PChain, definitely we need to external collaboration with wallet. But at the very beginning, I'm a little worried because it's Qtum's wallet. So that's why people always, are you Qtum? No, definitely we are PChain. So because Qbao nowadays, that's their original strategy. Nowadays it's no longer just a wallet. It's take the wallet like entry to the blockchain. Got it. So they will also support PChain network and support all the application of PChain, and even to get they were interesting about the smart data we just introduced, and also the cross chain. So they have a very deep technology collaboration with PChain, and because PChain, the main focus is blockchain itself. So definitely we need our partner in wallet.
Yeah, no, so I mean, and equally with a sort of a 5 million user base, it does open up entry into blockchain, awareness of PChain. So, you know, I'm always a big fan of partnerships that have a big user base as well. Let's talk about PChain and Shanghai Database Research Center. What's the partnership there for you guys?
Okay, you know, it's in fact we can regard blockchain from different aspects. Maybe you can regard blockchain from crypto point of view, from security point of view, from network point of view. But from my point of view, because I'm also the database background, so I believe it's a new way to process the data. So that's the database. Because from database point of view, everything, for example, software, internet, they are all database. Because they are a bunch of data. So the similar things happens in blockchain. So that's why we want to collaborate with the Shanghai International Database Center, because in fact this is one of the top center in database research. And they publish a lot of important paper in this area. And also, you know, the background of this center is not just in Shanghai, it's national level or even international level. That's why it's international. So they get a lot of energy of academic and research and innovation.
I see. Now, one of the other ones actually that I've been an early supporter and fan of is CertiK, and so clearly I've found that there is a partnership between yourself and CertiK. So what are you going to be doing with CertiK in this space?
Yeah, in fact, it's quite interesting that all this kind of partnership just a friend of friends, something like that. And you know, CertiK, in fact, we from my point of view, at the very beginning, I don't expect why people is so interested in this kind of partnership. We just another partner. But the marketing very exciting about that. I think the main reason is because you know, blockchain for smart contract platform, definitely the security and the smart contract audit is very important. So that's the original idea of why we want to partnership with CertiK. In fact, it's just like very natural thing. We don't put too much effort. Just we get some connection, and why not we have this kind of partnership? Okay, let's have it. So definitely the meaning of CertiK is for the app over PChain, they will provide the audit, provide the service. And definitely they promise get some exclusive price and exclusive service. So if you have the app or PChain, from CertiK side, they will offer you a better service.
Fantastic.
On the other hand, for PChain, definitely we will track a lot of the app, and this trend become more and more obvious. More and more app come here to try to get partnership with PChain. So definitely we will introduce a lot of partner to CertiK as well. So I think it's a very good collaboration for us.
I think there's two more partnerships that I'm really interested in talking about, and this wasn't an exhaustive list. I mean, there's many more, and I'll pin it up for those who want to know more about it. But one that really stands out to me is a partnership between PChain and Bitmain Exchange.
Sorry?
PChain and Bitmain's exchange, the DEX. So that's been sort of featured. So how are you guys working together on this space?
Okay, this is another very interesting partnership. So yes, every partnership has a story. Yes, it's very interesting because you know for PChain we support cross chain, and we have a child chain and a main chain. So you can imagine that one of the key applications of PChain in the future is decentralized exchanges. So it's very natural. But nowadays we didn't follow this direction at current stage, but definitely we can explore that direction later on.
Okay.
So that's why, yeah, the DEX want to have a collaboration with us, and because nowadays they just adopt ERC20 and to make this kind of ERC20 decentralized exchange, and definitely they do a lot of optimization on that. And the Bitmain, definitely everybody know that, and have a very good technology, especially in mining machine, right? But they also have the ambitious to do more things in this environment. And definitely we have a very good relationship with Bitmain and also with PChain, and everybody know him. And yeah, we want to support, we want to collaborate to make a better decentralized environment. But as the announcement is not just the decentralization, decentralized exchange, is also include the smart data, include the cross chain. So I think we are very proud of that. PChain obviously is leading the direction of blockchain. So we have all this kind of direction. PChain want to purchase. Hello. Yeah, want to purchase, attract a lot of partner and attract a lot of attention. That is, all of us want to working together to make this kind of direction more successful in the future.
Sorry, Jeff. I thought I had a few connection issues, but I heard you loud and clear. So thank you for that one. Now, I suppose moving on from partnerships, because we've gone through quite a few. I think what people are also going to be interested in is roadmap in terms of how you're doing against your deliverables that you set out. So I thought we could do a bit of a recap and then catch up to where we are now. So I mean, if we kind of go back into sort of early July, we had mentions of successful tests across Asia, across Europe and America, or specifically Silicon Valley, Singapore, and Germany. And so that was consensus of testing around 200 nodes. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Well, I mean, what is that? What did you achieve by doing that?
Okay, yes. In fact, I really like this question because personally, I'm very excited and proud of this testnet launched. Because the meaning is the technology breakthrough. Because previously, you know, PChain is based on PBFT. PBFT is a very interesting consensus algorithm. And the advantage of PBFT is it can achieve relevant high scalability and relevant, just relevant. And but the decentralization of PBFT is very limited because it's need a lot of communication cost. We call it N square. That is the communication cost is the N square. N means the number of nodes. So you can imagine it cannot support many nodes, and especially when the nodes are located in different areas. So traditionally, PBFT is mainly adopted in intranet or in LAN, and with less than 20 nodes. So you know many alliance chain adopt this algorithm in their environment. However, this is the first time I think we do this kind of breakthrough. We design a new algorithm called PBFT. D means dynamic. And we successfully reduced the communication cost from N squared to N. So you can see that the communication cost greatly reduced. So the PBFT can support much larger number of nodes to do the consensus in same time. So it's a huge breakthrough from my point of view. And but previously, just theoretically, we made this kind of proof that is N squared to N. So the real test is the real practice. We demonstrate that with 200 nodes. So it's a breakthrough. You can see that previously it's 20, now it is 10 times, and across the continent, across the Pacific. Yes, so it's very important, and they achieve the consensus. Another important feature of PBFT is the instance finality. That is, the transaction is confirmed whenever the block is generated inside of this block. You know, traditional POW, they have a long-term attack. What is long-term attack? Because it rely on the longest blockchain, and only after 6 blocks they can get some confirmation, but it's still a probability confirmation. It can never finalize, right? Yeah. So when we have a better machine, we can generate a much longer blockchain and commit in the same time, then that means a long-term attack to change everything. Right? It's not instant finality. So that's the beauty of PBFT algorithm. So we achieved instant finality, achieved great efficiency improvement, achieved decentralization over hundreds of times of traditional POS algorithm, for example, the POS algorithm. So that's, from my view, is a huge milestone of PChain. So that's why after that, we already get confidence that we can be in our deliver the things before our roadmap in advance. Okay. So that's the meaning of this test. Okay. It's huge.
Yeah, no, it sounds very impressive. I mean, I think you even made a further announcement going back, which was on the 25th of July, that your testnet will be launched ahead of the roadmap, which is always good to see. And that was, you know, mentioned then around 1,000 plus nodes, right?
Yes, yes. You know, especially this is also very important, because if you are doing the computer science, you know, whenever you want to get more scale, definitely need to put a lot of effort. It's not just 1 day or two days. It may be months or even years to make from the older level improvement in scalability.
So and further, so we actually, if we go back earlier in this month, you also announced that you'd completed 128 child chains as well. So what's the significance of that?
Oh, it's another breakthrough of PChain, because, you know, as we said, we are multi-chain structure, right? Multi-chain, in fact, just to have a 1 or 2 or 10 multi-chain is not that hard. Yeah. But if you want to support hundreds of child chain, it's really hard, because I can tell you a very little story. Before our internal test, we just doing some beta test or something. It can hardly find any problem. It works very well. But you know what? The first time we launched for around 20 child chain, one of the 4 child chain become dead. Okay. Just after 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So we take a lot of effort to try to find why this happened. Finally, we find the result. We resolve this bug. But that is a very little story to tell you that to make a large scale application or multi-chain is really not that easy. 10 is okay. For 100, maybe, or 200, you will meet a lot of problems.
No, fair enough. And so that kind of brings us up to pretty much where we are now. Now, I know you've got some exciting news coming out in September, and that's obviously around your testnet. So what can you tell us, and what date should we be watching out for?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can announce now, but generally, it's already confirmed that we will have the test launch, final test launch. Okay. 12th September.
12th of September. Okay.
Yeah, technical side, we are ready to have this kind of launch at every moment. We're already ready in technical, but we want to have a more explanation and a more pre-marketing to everybody, to let more people aware of this. So that's why we postpone a little about this. And also we continue get more higher TPS. So I think maybe you already know that we announced three weeks ago. The first time we announced our TPS is 1,000 TPS. It's huge. It's already maybe the fastest TPS in the world, much faster than many existing blockchain. But definitely just the very beginning. And in the last week, we announced the second announcement of our TPS. It's already around 35,000. So it's almost double.
Wow.
And just in yesterday, we announced the new TPS again. And now it's double again. It's around 30 TPS. TPS. So we achieved many TPS, and I think it's very good guessing game with our fans, our members, how many final TPS in our final event. Definitely, I can notice you that it should be higher, but you can guess.
Sounds like a good competition to have to bring people into your Twitter space. Okay, so excellent. So I think in terms of finishing comments, what should we be looking out for, Jeff? Thank you for giving us the update, and it's been a good recap, because I think it's important, given the market that we're in, that some projects lose traction, not because of any effort through your own. It's just the general market sentiment around us, and I think it's always important, certainly like projects like PChain, for example, which I'm a big fan and follower and supporter of. People are made aware that there is work happening in the background, regardless of the market conditions. So, what should we be watching out for in terms of PChain going forward?
Yeah, I think we already achieved a lot of technical breakthrough, as we just discussed, and we also have around 8 patents in submission, and also have a 12 conference paper to be published and submit and publish. So I think that this is the first step of PChain already achieved, and through this kind of achievement, we become more and more confident. We are really the world-class level team and project. And by the way, I think another important thing I want to mention, that is our scientists, the book of our scientists recommended by Vitalik, the founder of Ethereum. So it's also a very big confirmation of our project, and we continue to get report from NASDAQ, from a very important medium to review our progress. And yes, I think it's quite important. I think, in fact, frankly speaking, the market is not good, right? So I think just given this bad environment, the real project, real team, the concrete team, the solid team will have a better chance, because we will deliver in advance. We will deliver on track. We will deliver everything, and even higher than our expectation, higher than the expectation of our fans. So that's we already achieved. But in the next, I think definitely we have a huge opportunity, because the scalability issue is more and more obvious. We got more and more transactions to be stacked in Bitcoin, and you can hardly support any meaningful application or games in existing blockchain system. So I think in the next, maybe we will show you a very interesting application with the scalability and attract a lot of attention in this market. And maybe at that time, everybody will know PChain, because
if they don't already, they should.
Yeah, talk about technology itself. Maybe not too much people will be interested in that, but talk about a very important application.
Yes,
just the one killer application. Everybody will know PChain.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Blockchains as a whole, great. TPS increase, great. Scalability, security, great. But I think the moment we get a decent decentralized application running on a successful blockchain like PChain, for example, that is when you really get the notice and the awareness kicking in, because you then have a real world application, right? But prior to that, it's having a technology and infrastructure to support it, but then actually having an application to run on that infrastructure that then gives us, like me, real world value in using that. So that's great. Well, look, Jeff, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you giving us an update on where PChain is currently now and has been for the last few months. And I'd like to end by saying I wish you and PChain all the success, and I will be looking out over the next few weeks to see your next video in terms of your testnet around the 12th of September. And once again, let's catch up a few months down the line and see where things are.
Thank you.
Cheers, Jeff.